Why should they care about stablecoins?
I mean, if you're a merchant, if you're a person that's young, he's got a long life ahead of her or him, then you want to invest in something that is risky and will go up and down and try to find the fun upside to that. But if you're an older person who can't risk too much and they want to get out of the banking system, or if you are a merchant and you've just sold a television for Bitcoin, you want to hold that money so you can rebuy a new television to sell another one, right? So that's why you want something stable. Although if you're in full Bitcoin only, if you have both feet in Bitcoin, you can say that's kind of stable too, because you're constantly moving in and out and you don't think about the ups and downs, you just get paid and pay. So yeah.
I think up until about 2017, there was a broad narrative that Bitcoin might stabilize itself and end up being adopted as a means of exchange, as a currency in the world. And I think that idea kind of was eventually shattered as people saw the price going up and down a lot. So, if you talk to someone in a Latin American country like Argentina or Brazil or Venezuela, and you ask them, would you use Bitcoin to deal with the inflation or the volatility of your own currency? The answer is basically, generally speaking, like we in this room would like to do that, but a lot of them, the answer is no. They want US dollars, right? And why is that? That's sort of become the standard for how you think of prices, how you think of stability. And so, from my perspective, in the long history of crypto in the future, maybe at some point that won't be true, and the US dollar will not be the standard, but for now it really is. And so, I think we can see a lot of stablecoins taking that fact, being like, okay, let's import that stability from the US dollar, maybe another currency, but usually dollars, and try to smooth the transition from fiat money into cryptocurrency.
When I talk about stablecoins, I usually talk about decentralized stablecoins. The decentralization is the most important thing of the stablecoins. We all use Bitcoin because it's decentralized. Nobody can change the rules. But there is a big problem with Bitcoin, and it's the volatility. There is a lot of Bitcoin, there is a lot of business that could use cryptocurrency, for example, for international trade. They cannot use Bitcoin because of its volatility. If you have a decentralized stablecoin, you have all the pieces of the stablecoin auto-contained in the blockchain. That means that nobody can change the rules. So you have all the advantages of Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, and you have the stability of fiat. That is why stablecoins are important.
Yeah, and let me add to that also, that having a stablecoin, a decentralized stablecoin that is taken as a deferred mean of payments, right? It lets you create services without trust, right? And some of the things that we are seeing right now with the DeFi world is that these services, although can be created also on centralized stablecoins, the real deal are the decentralized ones, right? Because they are, censorship resistant, they are programmable, they have all these properties that are really need to create this industry that is just in the very beginning.
Can I just, I don't think that I think the decentralization is important, of course. We love that because we're all Bitcoiners, we love that. But is it decentralization or is it are you trying to get control away from the issuance of debt? Because at the end of the day, fiat, and what a lot of people don't actually get a grip of, is that fiat is a debt instrument printed out of nowhere with interest that doesn't exist, and you get this Ponzi scheme almost happening where there's way more interest that is owed to how much is in circulation, whereas an asset, rare numbers are mined into existence, they're found and spent, so there's not this interest that's back here. This is what's interesting, and if we can have a stable coin that's not based on this ridiculous Ponzi scheme in the background, it's getting rid of the centralization in terms of the creation of more debt, rather than, we need to have something that we can shut down. The shutdown ability is also important, but I think getting away from debt instruments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agree with you. That is why I say it can be also being built on centralized stablecoins. But the thing is that we are looking at least from the MakerDAO Foundation, we are looking for innovation, right? And the innovation in this space comes from decentralization, in which you don't need to have, let's say, a leg on your legacy financial institutions, right? At least for the most part of all of the collateral. And I think that this is the proper new thing here. How you design your system to be liquid, to be decentralized, and to be accessible for everyone, and obviously censorship resistance, right?
I think that if you don't like fiat, you shouldn't use a USD-pegged stablecoin. Because, for example, MakerDAO or Mining Chain, we build stablecoins that are backed by Bitcoin, but the DAI or the dollar on chain is pegged to the US dollar. So if you think that the US dollar is a Ponzi scheme, you are having a stablecoin pegged to a Ponzi scheme.
Is the dollar the least worst shitcoin?